The first ascent of Mount Everest. 1953 British Everest Expedition. In May 1953, Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay successfully summited Mount Everest. Ushered by expeditions planned by the French and Swiss, the British funded an expedition to summit Everest. The 1953 expedition showed the world that Mount Everest could indeed be climbed and paved the road for future expeditions. The 1953 British Everest expedition is a compelling and inspiring story of human endeavor and resilience in the face of daunting obstacles. Led by Sir John Hunt, a team of climbers spent years preparing for this historic mission to scale the world's highest mountain. Their journey was one of intense physical and mental challenges, fraught with uncertainty, danger, and setbacks. But through it all, they demonstrated extraordinary courage, unwavering determination, and a deep commitment to their goal. Before the successful British Everest expedition in 1953, numerous attempts to summit the peak had failed. The first serious attempt was made by British mountaineers in 1921, but it was ultimately unsuccessful due to a lack of proper equipment and experience. The next attempt was made in 1922, but tragically 7 Sherpa guides died in an avalanche. In 1924, British climbers George Mallory and Andrew Irvine disappeared while attempting to climb, their fate unknown for many years. Several other expeditions were also mounted in the following years, but all ended in failure due to a variety of factors, including weather conditions, lack of oxygen, and inadequate equipment. These failed expeditions only served to highlight the dangers and difficulties inherent in climbing the world's highest peak, and it was not until the successful British Everest expedition that Mount Everest was finally conquered. The idea of a British expedition to climb Mount Everest had been discussed for years. However, the expedition was officially proposed in 1951 by the Joint Himalayan Committee, a group of experienced climbers and explorers. The committee chose John Hunt to lead the expedition, and he began recruiting climbers and support staff. The expedition included a team of 10 experienced climbers, including Sir Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay. The team also included over 100 Sherpas, who played an essential role in the success of the expedition by carrying supplies and equipment to the high-altitude camps. Edmund Hillary was a renowned New Zealand mountaineer and explorer. Prior to the British 1953 expedition, he had successfully climbed various peaks in the Himalayas and Andes. Tenzing Norgay was a legendary Nepali Sherpa mountaineer. Before his historic climb of Mount Everest with Sir Edmund Hillary in 1953, Tenzing had already established himself as an accomplished mountaineer and guide. The 1953 British expedition to Mount Everest faced numerous challenges and obstacles on their way to the summit. The team had to contend with harsh weather conditions, high altitudes, and treacherous terrain. They also had to deal with the logistical and technical difficulties, such as the lack of suitable equipment and difficulty of setting up camps at such high altitudes. Additionally, the team members had to battle altitude sickness and fatigue, which sapped their strength and made it difficult to progress. Despite these challenges, the team persevered, working together to overcome each obstacle and achieve their goal. The 1953 British expedition to Mount Everest relied heavily on oxygen systems to help the climbers reach the summit. The equipment, designed by Sibre Gorman, used a demand regulator system with lightweight cylinder of compressed oxygen carried in a backpack. This system allowed climbers to regulate the flow of oxygen as needed to maintain physical capabilities and avoid altitude sickness. The oxygen systems greatly aided the climbers in reaching the summit by enabling them to breathe in more oxygen and maintain their physical capabilities, which had been nearly impossible without them. In spite of the challenges of heavy, bulky cylinders and regular maintenance, the oxygen systems were crucial to the success and safety of the operation. The expedition began in March 1953 with the team establishing base camp at the foot of the mountain. They then began a series of acclimatization climbs, gradually ascending higher and higher in order to prepare their bodies for the extreme altitudes they would face at the summit. The team arrived at the base of Everest in late April and spent several weeks preparing for the summit attempt, establishing a series of high-altitude camps along the way, each one higher than the last. On May 26, after weeks of arduous climbing, Hillary and Norgay finally reached the South Col, the site of their final camp before their successful summit attempt. On May 26th, Hillary and Norgay, accompanied by a small support team, set out from their final camp, known as Camp 9, to the summit. They climbed through the night, battling exhaustion in the thin air, and reached the south summit in the morning of May 27th. The climb was extremely difficult, with the climbers having to contend with strong winds, deep snow, and treacherous ice walls. Despite these challenges, their determination and skill enabled them to continue along the narrow ridge towards the summit, finally reaching it at 11:30 a.m. on May 29th. After 9 hours of climbing on May 29th, 1953, Hillary and Norgay became the first climbers to reach the summit of Mount Everest after hours of exhaustion, thin air, strong winds, deep snow, and ice walls. The news of the 1953 British Everest expedition's successful climb of Mount Everest was communicated to London through a combination of radio, telegraph, and film footage. Sir John Hunt sent encoded messages to the British Foreign Office, while daily updates were transmitted via radio to the expedition's base camp and then relayed to India before being sent to London. Film footage and photographs were also developed and shown in cinemas across the UK. The news was met with great excitement and widely covered by media outlets. In honor of their accomplishment, Hillary and Norgay were both knighted by Queen Elizabeth II. In honor of their accomplishment, Hillary and Norgay were both knighted by Queen Elizabeth II, and their feat is celebrated every day as May 29th as Everest Day. The 1953 British Everest expedition had a profound impact on the world of mountaineering and exploration. It opened up a new era of high-altitude climbing and paved the way for new expeditions to the world's tallest peak. The 1953 British Everest expedition was a remarkable achievement that captured the world's imagination and pushed the boundaries of what was thought possible. Their success changed the world of mountaineering and exploration forever and inspired a new generation of adventurers to push themselves to their limits and explore the unknown. The achievement of Hillary and Norgay and the team that supported them demonstrated that with hard work, perseverance, and a willingness to take risks, anything is possible. The legacy of the 1953 British Everest expedition lives on, reminding us that the human spirit is capable of great things when we set our minds to it.